This is going to be a drill about the at a time or at all times or at that particular time, those phrases. They should all be one stroke. And if you encounter one that's not one stroke, I know I had to make up a brief for, I think, just one of them. But especially if you're Sten Ed, they should all be one stroke, with the exception of the one that I had to make up a brief for. So I'm just going to go down the line. I'm not going to be reading them as sentences, but as just drills. I'm just going to go down the list here and just kind of switch it up. And I am going to do it as a slow drill. That way you become more familiarized with it. And I'll do it for about, I guess, 2 minutes. And just play it over and over again until you get this down, because it will save you so much time, especially on your Q&A dictations. I cannot tell you how many times the at a time or at no time or at that particular point phrases have just completely stumped me because I can't remember the brief for it. So this is a good exercise to get your fingers to go to where you need them to go when you hear these phrases. Okay, ready, begin. At a time. At all times. At least. At no time. At once. At that particular point. At that particular time. At that point. At that time. At the point. At the present time. At the same time. At the scene. At the time. At this particular time. At this point. At this time. At what point? At any point. I'm going to pause right there. At any point was one that I did have to make up a brief for, and it's T-I, the long I, or the short I, whatever works for you best. T-I asterisk N-T is what I chose for it. And I'll continue now. At what time? At which time? At any time? At which time? At what time? At any point? At what point? At this time? At this point? At this particular time? At the time? At the scene? At the same time? At the present time? At the point? At that time? At that point? At that particular time? At that particular point? At once? At no time? At least? At all times? At a time? At what time? At which time? At any time? At least? At a time? At all times? At that time? At that point? At that particular time? At that particular point? At once? At no time? At the point? At the present time? At the same time? At the scene? At any point? At what point? At this time? At this point? At this particular time? At the time? At the scene.